So you've sold me on it. You've sold me, and I think most reasonable people, that these military commanders, that they're built-in incentives, given the power structure there, for them to sort of treat this with impunity, for them to not prosecute this. They have a proven record of not prosecuting it, and there's a rampant
they're not controlling it, right?
Exactly, and so under any normal circumstance, everyone would basically say. I mean, we think about other institutions where this has occurred. I think about, for instance, I know that in New York there are cases where I think the ultra-Orthodox Jewish community has issues there where they don't want to hand over people to civilian authorities, and the city was just like, "Screw you guys!
Forget about it.
You've got a problem, and we're stepping in here." And yet, Carl Levin, the chairman of the Armed Services Committee, helped vote this down.
Right.
And
he led the charge against it.
And apparently there was it was not, I think Claire McCaskill sided with him, if I'm not mistaken, and then some Republicans like Ted Cruz sided with Gillibrand. I mean, it's like, this was totally bipartisan. Is it as straightforward as who's in bed with the military and the military contractors?
Yeah, I do believe that. I haven't done the due diligence to be able to assert who's in bed with the military contractors, but I do think that there is this sort of kind of cowardliness on the part of many lawmakers about challenging the military. And I dare say, even the President of the United States, because you know what, Daniel?
I'm shocked.
If President Obama, when he gave his speech to the Naval Academy, if he had, in that speech in which he said, "Oh, we need to end this. There's no place for this military sexual assault, this sexual assault culture in our military," if he had said in that speech or elsewhere that he supported removing the adjudication of these crimes from the chain of command, it would have happened. It would have happened, and that's all it would have taken. And it's really time for the president, I believe. This is my personal opinion. I'm not speaking on behalf of my employer, but my personal opinion is it's really time for the president to take leadership on this. He has 2 daughters. Think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I completely agree, and I think that I wish that the president did exercise leadership in this regard. It's something we're going to be paying attention to closely, very, very closely, in the weeks and months ahead. And I mean, it's just such a common sense issue. I understand that politicians feel uncomfortable. They think that their national security credentials are going to be questioned.
Here's the thing, right? We always, what is considered sort of the most macho military in the world? The Israeli military, right? They took these crimes out of the chain of command. The UK has taken these out of the chain of command. Australia, Germany, Canada, and what do all of these countries have in common? Oh, they're U.S. allies. It seems to be working for them. In fact, reports of sexual assaults in the military in Israel went up by 80% once they made this change.
Which suggests that they were going unreported before.
That's right,
and certainly, I think it's so important that we make this clear. Obviously, regardless of sort of the moral implications of various activities of these militaries that I know are controversial and don't want to go down that rabbit hole just in a moment. But Israel has women in combat, for instance, and I know that now we have women in combat in unprecedented ways.
And a lot of people don't like that, by the way.
Well, exactly. And I think it's really unfortunate that people would make this about that they would make this about women in combat. We know that our women need to be, it improves our armed services, and we just need accountability for this. It needs to be taken out of the chain of command. Addie Stan, thank you so much for joining us. You've informed us on these issues so well, and I encourage everyone to follow your excellent journalism.
It's great to be here, Daniel. Thank you.
When Take Action News continues, we have an amazing hour ahead of us. We're going to be talking to Kalpona Akhtar, the executive director of the Bangladesh Center for Worker Solidarity, in just a few minutes, so stay tuned.